Hey y'all, I wanted to chat for a minute about genetic mirroring. Now this is a term some of you all might not have heard about before. I promise you anybody with a DNA surprise will know what I'm talking about. Just give me a minute. I don't know if you all felt this way after your surprise, if you've been able to and are lucky enough to have identified your genetic family. When you see a picture of them, you just like fall out of your chair. You're like, oh my gosh, I finally look like someone. I know I felt that way when I first saw a picture of my genetic father. Same dimple, same eye that's slightly smaller. I was like, oh my gosh, I finally look like someone. I finally know where I come from. Genetic mirroring, if you look it up on Mr. Google there, it'll tell you that it's when you have physical similarities from DNA. So like, oh, my nose, my dimples, the things that I just talked about. But I just want to tell you all that genetic mirroring is so much more than that. So when you grow up in a household without genetic mirroring, it means you aren't related to one or both of your parents genetically. And so you don't look, but also most importantly, I almost feel like, is you don't act like that person either. I can't tell you how many stories that I've heard about people who identify their genetic family, they meet them, and they have all of these synchronicities or similarities. I think this is part of genetic mirroring. For example, somebody whose favorite color is orange and their birth father has an orange Harley Davidson. Or one of my favorite stories is a whole bunch of donor-conceived individual siblings are getting together for lunch, and they all order, they've never met before, sandwiches without mayonnaise. No mayo, please, hold the mayo, right? Of course, there's the professional side of things and the interests, like I'm an artist, but everyone in my family was accountants, and I met my genetic family, and my father's an artist too. So genetic mirroring isn't just about seeing those physical traits, which is also super important, but it's also seeing those characteristic traits mirrored. And if you don't know why you're not like your parent or parents, you think something's wrong with you. Why can't I be more like dad? Why am I not like mom? Or maybe you say, oh, I'm just more like that parent, and you're actually gravitating towards the one that you are genetically related to. So genetic mirroring is really important, and if we don't have it, we need to know why. This is why Right to Know advocates for truth and transparency in everybody's origins. Children have a right to know their genetic history and who they are and who they're related to. And it doesn't change anything for the raising parent at all. It just helps the child better understand their place in space in the world and who they are.